Monstration, Menstration and the Monstrous Feminine in Horror, a video essay by Sophie Jakeman. In this video essay I will be discussing how horror films represent menstruation. Spoiler warnings for the following films: It, 2017, Ginger Snaps, 2000, Jennifer's Body, 2009, and Carrie, 1976. I'll be linking these films to Barbara Creed's idea of the monstrous feminine and objection. The first film I'm going to analyse is a favourite of mine, Andy Muschietti's adaptation of Stephen King's It. Released in 2017, it follows the story of a group of children attempting to defeat a murderous clown. Throughout the film, it appears to each of the children as their worst fears: a leper, a headless boy, a woman from a painting, and most frequently, a clown. However, Beverly has a different experience, one that stems from her menstruation. This sub-theme is first present during this scene, showing Beverly standing in front of an aisle full of menstrual products, a motif which seems to be present in other films such as Ginger Snaps, and could allude to the confusing and overwhelming feelings of having a first period. Shame and embarrassment follows this sub-theme, introduced as Beverly bumps into boys in her year, proceeding to hide the product behind her back. This shame happens again, but with her father, as she refuses to tell him what's in the bag. He responds with power by simply taking the bag from her and saying,
"Tell me you're still my little girl."
In my opinion, these scenes, although brief, are a form of objection, showing menstruation directly. This encounter is directly a reference to menstruation and puberty, with hair and blood flooding from the sink. After this experience, her father comes into the bathroom and is not able to see the blood. This could allude to his ignorance and lack of acknowledgement to her period, and her becoming a young woman instead of the little girl he wants her to stay. The more monstrous side of Beverly appears in the final fight, where it shows itself as her father, leading her to lash out. She's finally taking control of her life, beyond being his little girl. The next two films I'll be discussing are Ginger Snaps, 2000, and Jennifer's Body, 2009. These films beautifully demonstrate the immense power that the monstrous feminine holds.
Hell is a teenage girl.
Both of these films follow similar premises, with the main character being transformed in some way. In Ginger Snaps, Ginger's transformation occurs after a werewolf attack. Her gradual transformation presents itself as a strange form of puberty, as she grows new hair, a tail, and most importantly has her first period. Eventually, she transforms fully and painfully, attacking anyone who crosses paths with her. Jennifer's transformation is slightly more subtle than Ginger's. It occurs after she is attacked by a pop band who then proceeds to turn her into a vampire through a demonic ritual. The image of the vampire itself has been linked to menstruation. According to Barbara Creed's writing on Woman as Vampire, the neck represents the neck of the uterus. And a popular belief at the time was that woman became a vampire in order to replace the blood she lost during menstruation. This statement is applicable to both films, as they carry a strong sense of feminine power derived from bloodshed, in the form of the monstrous feminine, male castration, in the form of men being killed during sexual acts, and menstruation, which is a commonly taboo topic consistently disgusting men. This scene from Ginger Snaps highlights men's disgust.
Do you think it's cramps?
Give it a rest for 2 seconds. Oh.
Pam, we're eating.
Barbara Creed also stated, after the victim has been bitten, she rises and filled with sexual energy seeks out her own victims/partners. Both Jennifer and Ginger conform to this theory, gaining both beauty and confidence after the attacks. They use this to seek out men to kill, luring them in through the promise of sex. They also gain immense power from these attacks, leading them to monstrously transform during sex. These scenes show that sex itself holds power for the women, as they're taking charge in these moments. Therefore, women displaying sexual autonomy by transforming and gaining power through the diminishing of men only strengthens this fear and castration anxiety. Despite the violence that Ginger and Jennifer cause to men, there is still an element of the male gaze within these films. However, it is used as a way of empowering the characters, as they both look and feel physically stronger in order to attack men. The final film I'll be discussing is Carrie, 1976. Carrie is a perfect example to summarise my topic as a whole. perfectly combining menstruation, abjection, and the monstrous feminine. This film focuses around the stigmatization of a young girl's period and the bullying which it stems. Within Carrie, periods are immediately established as a taboo topic. This is illustrated in the beginning scenes where the other girls torment Carrie for being uneducated and therefore terrified when her period suddenly starts in the school shower. This incident discussed the principle, not because of the bullying, but because of the mention of periods. In an article by Faye D. Effard from BFI, Carrie is described as feminine rage, in my opinion, is considered a key part of the monstrous feminine. It is what men fear most as it goes against every stereotypical image of the quiet, docile housewife. Feminine rage is very present in Carrie, with her powers stemming from her menstruation. She uses this rage against the people who torment her. It is first visible when she is overwhelmed by her period and the girls throwing menstruation products at her. She shatters a light bulb above her, using her anger to shock the girls. Later, the idea of her menstruation is used against her in the form of pig's blood, possibly implying what her classmates think of her. Even Carrie herself appears ashamed of her period, concealing herself through makeup for the senior prom. However, her menstruation continues to haunt her at the prom through the pig's blood being dumped onto her. Finally, this action is what triggers her rage, showing the true form of the monstrous feminine, as she massacres everybody at the prom even when they try to leave. In conclusion, all the films discussed within this video essay perfectly utilise periods and menstruation in using the physical transformations of the main characters to mirror the changes of puberty, therefore displaying their feminine rage and the monstrous feminine itself.